picture 160, 170 years ago. Thousands of people passing right through here on the way across these plains, on the way across the mountains, on the way to Oregon and California. Hey y'all, Carolina Tony here. Today we are in Montpelier, Idaho. At least I think that's how you pronounce the name. And we are here at the Oregon California Trail Center. We are going to learn a lot today about the Oregon Trail, about how the settlers came across the Great Plains on their way to Oregon, California, Washington. And hopefully we'll learn and find out something we didn't know about. And we'll get started right after this station identification. Well, let's go inside and purchase our ticket. Miss Debbie is hobbling behind me, getting over those blisters. This is what happens when you hike 5 miles the first time in 10 years.
Exactly.
Well, our wagon master today is Texas Jack. And Texas Jack's going to tell us a little bit about the Oregon Trail.
Fact 2, 18 to 20% of them do not make it.
We were just talking about that today.
And that is why the Oregon Trail is nicknamed a 2,000-mile graveyard. If you pass away on the trail, you are simply buried on the side of the trail or underneath it.
Fluffy cow.
Yes. Now, the Indians will use this hide for everything from blankets to clothing to covering their dwellings.
So that's made from a black bear?
Yes, sir.
Made in 1910.
Yep.
And it's shedding very little.
He was actually local. And he weighed about 180 to 200 pounds. He was a really big cat. Most of these 2,000 miles, because you're going to have everything you need to start over in Oregon packed into this wagon. Also, these wagons do not have anything known as a shock absorber. As you go down the trail, every rock, every hole, every rut, every bump you hit, this whole wagon bounces. They're not comfortable. Now, this wagon is called a prairie schooner or a farm wagon. It weighs about 1,500 pounds, and it will carry about 1,500 pounds. But you don't pack your entire house into it. As you can see, they're not that big. And for this journey, you're going to need to carry about 500 to 600 pounds of food per adult. So if you're a family of 4, 2 adults, 2 small young'uns, you're carrying 1,000 to 1,200 pounds just in food. You don't have room for many luxuries. And that's why. All right, this is our typical mercantile or general store. Or if you want to think about it, Walmart, 1852. Because this is where you get practically everything. Beans, rice, corn, flour, salt, sugar, coffee, and especially opium and whiskey. And depending on who made it, it could be anywhere from 10% to 30% opium. It's dangerous, but you want to have it. Say you have a tooth go bad on the trail. Dip your finger into that laudanum, dab it on the tooth. It'll help with the pain until we get to a town or settlement that has an actual dentist.
So we're in a wagon and we're fixing to head across the Oregon Trail.
Dear grandfather, grandmother, and all of you, it is with the greatest pleasure imaginable that I occupy a few moments writing to you to let you know how we get along since we have undertaken this tedious and arduous journey. We are not all well at present. Mother, I am sorry to inform you, has been very sick, but she is a great deal better. The weather has been so bad but the main thing was to get started.
The country through which we have passed for the last 2 weeks has looked entirely unfit for the abode of men, and we have seen no signs of civilization worth mentioning. We are now rolling over a splendid-looking prairie with the blue-tinged timber in the distance. The wild
Just you, Mel? No, one more.
Ta-da.
Well, welcome, folks. My name is Isabel Schooley, and I will be your wagon master. One good for all the rest of the day.
So we found out that this very ground that we're standing on was a actual camp for the pioneers crossing on the Oregon Trail right here. And now there's this big modern building, the Texas Jack from Texas, standing next to a bear that might or might not eat him. I am walking on the original Oregon Trail. Where I'm walking right now, this was the actual Oregon Trail. There is a marker right there. You see where it winds through here. I am walking in the actual wagon ruts from the 1850s right through here. So here's a marker. There's another one up there as it turns and goes along the edge of that hill. Here's a sign, Oregon California Trail, and there are the wagon ruts right there. Imagine, if you will, traveling in the 1850s. There were no roads. This was the road. This was the Oregon Trail that I am walking down. As we go in this direction, you can see where it has actually become a road. This is the road that I came in on. Well, that is going to be a wrap for our trip to the National Oregon California Trail Center. I am standing right on the Oregon Trail. An actual pioneer camp was on this very ground that we're on. The museum we went in, the dirt that's on the floor in there is the same dirt that some of your ancestors probably stood on if they went to Oregon, California, Idaho on the Oregon Trail. To me, that is mind-blowing. So interested in learning about the history here. I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to give us a big old thumbs up. Be sure to share this video with your family and friends. But until next time, y'all have a good day.